you can't doubt that AI is transformative.
Yeah.
It is. Is it transformative for recruitment right now? No. Quite simply, I don't believe it is. I don't think the technology that's built for recruitment currently is fit for purpose, and also the users of that technology are not skilled enough to capitalize on that technology. So there's a gap. You know, AI or tech is great in the sense that it can help you, you know, scan thousands of CVs at a time and, you know, highlight the top 50. It can automate email sequences and do campaigns for you. It can personalize those messages. You know, it can do all of these things. But bottom line for me is it should be used to make you more efficient at your job.
100%.
The key when it comes to recruitment, and I fall back on what we said earlier, is relationships. AI, and I'm not saying never, because
who knows? We can't predict the future.
Even what we have today, people thought this was sci-fi not long ago. So, you know, we need to be cautious on that. But it's a relationship business, and it can't make those complex, nuanced decisions yet. And particularly when it comes to hiring, as much as you want to use technology, you've also got to go with that intuition and that gut as well.
That gut feeling, we use a lot of we do IQ tests and personality tests and so on. But the only reason we do stuff like that is just to inform us a little bit about our decision. Decision's already been taken internally, and in what that kind of the addition of that information, and maybe what AI and machine learning do is that it'll help us to complement the decision we've already taken in reality, rather than taking the decision for us. I think if we lean too heavily on it, you miss the human part of that, like how a conversation goes, like the personality traits, how you feel when you're speaking to that person. All of that there's value in that when hiring a person, I think. And if we come very cold at it or on the process, then we're going to lose something, the human aspect of it.
Yeah, 100%. Like we will. And you know, personality and IQ tests, they are a tool, not a decision maker. And I think some businesses confuse that. And you can still use those things to great effect. You know, Elia actually, you know, she contacted us recently and wanted the data from the personality test, so she could understand the personality makeup of the company and where the gaps are, or where maybe we need different types of personality that can improve us in certain areas, or which people are performing in what roles because they have this makeup.
Less Ross is more Elias. You know, it's just
she did say that actually, but she didn't wait for the results.
That was the opening question, was it? Yeah. I need more of me and less of him. So okay, I like that.
Yeah, that was it.
I'm gonna have a word with her when we finish this.
Yeah.
But it's right. It data like that helps you. It informs you more about your business. You have your impression of what you believe the business to be, or individuals to be, or whether they're, you know, left or right, or introverts or extroverts, or yellows or blues, or whatever kind of way we want to describe them. But that data helps you to understand that, and really your business as a whole, you need balance in it. You don't want too many extroverts, too many introverts, too many reds, too many greens. You want to balance across your business. An interesting one for me around kind of informed information was the beginner and the finisher. You know, I'll put my hand up and say, I'm a starter. I'm not a finisher. I'll start stuff. I like to hand it over and let someone else take it on. And to understand that about your business, because you put teams together and you go, okay, you know, Jimmy, Mary, Bob, Meta, you're on this team, but if they're all starters and none of them are finishers, who's delivering the final package or the product to the client? Who's delivering the report? Who's closing out with the client? And so that imbalance has a negative effect on your business. So
it does.
Again, I think AI and the machine learning aspect will help us in the recruitment, but I think you're right. We won't be able to remove the human piece from it.
No, and nor should we.
No. And well, maybe there's a future out there that we probably won't be around for it, John. Anyway, you know, nevertheless, you might still be, you know, since you only look about 12. But you know, but moving on to, I think the AI piece is interesting, but the machine learning one for me is that if we can standardize a process, maybe we can learn from that process. Maybe the machine learning can learn from the process, and we can get better at whatever kind of piece of the supply chain that we want to improve with machine learning, but not necessarily all of it, perhaps, you know. One of the things I did like when we started originally was it was a very kind of, I guess it was manual from our side of things, where, you know, email communication or or SMS, and then CVs were received and reviewed and so on. But bringing in a system that allowed us to automate a lot of that communication, at least to track it, not necessarily automate it, but at least automate the number of clicks we needed to do and the number of platforms we were using, had a huge benefit for us, I thought, in terms of that time and quality.
Massively, yeah. Like, I mean, when you actually think of how effective that was, I mean, there was no, hiding the fact that our ratios of like CVs to interviews to placement, like rocketed after we implemented that. So it has its place for sure.
Do you have many interactions with other businesses that have implemented kind of interesting tools and platforms to help them on that selection journey, or is it still the majority is still a very traditional manual kind of process from your perspective?
Yeah, I think most are actually still pretty traditional. When I've spoken to other TAs, like talent acquisition specialists that work in-house, or to other recruitment companies, the one thing that they said is that they've tried to use different AI or tech, and actually all it's created is confusion. Yeah. And ultimately, clients need to hire people when they need them.
And it's speed, right?
Yeah. So if that actually is then slowing that process down, then
we'll put that on the shelf and let's get back to what we know, because we know how long it takes for us to do it in this process. It's a 12-week, 16-week, 8-week, whatever the case may be. Yeah. But I think there's a key point there. I think people are trying to implement the tech without really understanding what problem they're trying to solve in a process that maybe is not really clear. It's clear on the manual process perspective. I know what I'm doing when I receive a CV, how I evaluate it, how I save it, how I comment on it, how it goes back. Yeah. But that process now changes if you're bringing in some type of software to assist you. And maybe that misunderstanding then results in this kind of lack of efficiency rather than improved efficiency.
Yeah. The integration just won't work.
No. Yeah. Because you haven't understand really what you're trying to solve.